What up, it's your boy Incredible, and this is something I haven't done on my channel in a minute, man. I've been a little lax with it. This is another manga, manhwa, and manhwa that I've been reading, and there's a couple of them this time, man. So let's just jump right into it. The first one, I have a picture of everything so you'll see what I'm talking about. The first one is The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic. Dude, love this series, man, and it's a little different than your normal isekai manga, so I'll read the synopsis and then I'll just break it down briefly so I can get to the others. Usato, an ordinary high schooler, happens to run into two fellow students after school on a rainy day. Suddenly, all three of them are engulfed in a magic circle and transported into a fantasy world. There's just one tiny problem. Usato is simply dragged along by accident. On top of that, Usato learns that he is capable of using healing magic, an incredibly rare affinity in this new world. Now Usato must spend his days with the rescue team thugs, struggling through their hellish training regimen, learning the wrong way to use healing magic. Get ready for an eccentric, otherworld fantasy filled with comedy and combat. And this is true to 100%, man. Dude, this series, it's filled with comedy and you can enjoy the series as a whole, but it's a little weird for your normal typical isekai trope because our MC is not supposed to be the MC, if you will. Technically, he was written in the story to be the MC, but he wasn't supposed to go on this magical journey and get isekai into another world. He just got dragged along with it, and he happens to have one of the rare affinities of magic in this new world, and now he's a part of this whole rescue healing squad because he got drug along and he obtained the healing ability. Now, with that, he has to rescue people, a part of the healing squad, but it's filled with so much comedy, man, because he uses healing the wrong way. It's in the title. I don't want to expose it too much. I want you guys to check it out because there's not that many chapters as of right now. It's 51 chapters. That's not a lot. You can read through that, fairly easy. But I will say this. The story of the main character, it gives you a little bit of a different perspective from his point of view, instead of it being like a super OP main character. You know what I'm saying? Like, sure, he's OP with the healing aspect, but that's it. And everything else he had to actually earn. And healing is the only thing that he can really do with his magic wise anyway. But everything else after the healing effect, he had to learn and train to become the person that he is. And it's an enjoyable series, and you see some of the struggles with other characters as well. And our MC is one of those people that he's very helpful. So it's a very wonderful series to check out if you're done reading anything else, or if you want to just read something that's fun, got a little bit of action to it, and there's a lot of comedy to enjoy as well. This is a great series for that. The second one is Infinite Leveling Murim, and like I told you guys in probably the last video, the one before that, I'm not quite sure. I've really been dealing. The second one is Infinite Leveling Murim, and like I told you guys in probably the previous video, the one before that, I've really been digging the Murim genre, man, and it's so fascinating. This one is, it's a little bit different as well. Let's dive into it and I'll read the synopsis for you guys. Killed on the battlefield without glory to his name, Yu Song Dan receives an opportunity to grow stronger with a strange quest and level up system. But each quest he's forced to fight each quest he's forced to fight only seems to be getting harder and harder. Can he level up enough to avoid the same miserable ending and become the powerful hero he wishes to be? It's a little different, but like there's other manhwa and stuff along the same genre. But what I love about it, because it brings something just a little bit different to the table with our MC. Sure, he's went through this already, so he has, a leg up on the knowledge and everything, that how it's going to transpire. But because he ends up changing things so much, things change to where he doesn't know what's going on or what's going to actually happen, and that tends to be the effect in a lot of series like these. But you end up enjoying Dan Yusong, or whatever how you say it. You end up enjoying his character in this series because you get to see him struggle and get better and better and better, and then become one of the figures in this series where everybody just wants to be him. Everybody wants to be as strong as him, and he still thinks that he could be stronger. He needs to be stronger because he knows pretty much how the story's going to end, but at the same time, some things are set with time, but and he knows how everything's going to end. But like I said, things have been changing lately throughout the story, so he's a little taken back as well. But the action is great. There's lots of comedy in there. You can enjoy the comedy as well, but the action is there. The action is fantastic. I'm telling you. In there's like an adventure aspect where he's searching for things and stuff like that. It's 120 chapters, but they're relatively short somewhat. Not all of them, but some are relatively short, so you can just kind of breeze through them, and then you get to really enjoy the ones with the action and the adventure aspect to it. Definitely another great series, man. The third one is this hero for real? Excuse me. Is this hero for real? Now, this one I actually found by mistake while looking for something else, but I'll read the synopsis, and it's only 37 chapters. There has never been a hero like this before. Is he a hero or an actual demon? Kang Hansu was summoned to this world with his classmates. His classmates were amazed by this brand new world and the magic in it. But the only thing Hanso wanted to do was quickly return home. Why would I give up my warm and comfortable house to have an adventure in this world? Even the goddess that summoned me said if I wasn't willing to go, there was nothing she could do to force me, and promised to return me to my original world. She did teleport me, but when I opened my eyes, I was still in this world. All of my friends were gone, and the only thing around me were monsters. A goddess tricked me. How do I get back home? How do I get back home now? More than that, how do I survive here? Now, this is pretty much along the lines of Tsukumichi and some other as well, where, they tell the person, well, you can leave if you don't want to be here. And then they transport them to like way on the other side of the map of the world. And, now they're by themselves and they have to try to figure things out for themselves because, the goddess tricked them or whatnot. But it's pretty enjoyable. And me, myself, I love a good edgelord. I don't know how anybody else feels, but I love a good edgelord, and I feel like every hero doesn't. Not every hero. Every MC doesn't have to be a hero or come to save this world. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was forced to come here, so why can't I go home? Why can't I do everything I can in my power and my will to go home? And that's what Hanso is really all about, or Kang, take your pick, dude. It's hilarious. There's gods in this whole world and everything like that, and it's pretty along the same lines as Tsukumichi. He's trapped and he can't really speak the same language as the other people, so he's struggling to deal with that, but he can speak monster and demon language and everything like that. So sure, it's along the same lines as Tsukumichi, but it gives it just a little bit different perspective, if you will, because of him having to be there with his classmates, and then him being on the outskirts, and then him meeting this particular figure. I don't want to spoil too much. Like I said, it's only 37 chapters, and you can definitely check that out, man. The fourth one is BJ Archmage. I'm pretty sure a couple people might have heard about this because it actually was trending, and that's why I checked this one out. 42 chapters. I'll read the synopsis. Jung Hyun Woo had neither talent, money, or luck. Why can't I see the hidden information in the game after an electrocution accident? I started being able to see stuff I couldn't before in game. Okay. Oh, then it goes into, BJ is a Korean slang that means streamer. Now, okay, so it's streamer Archmage. It's another one of those series where, it's a game, but the game is kind of realistic, if you will. Like once they get inside the game, that's where that story actually takes place. Now, there's a lot of aspects that's evolving the real world, with him having to keep everything a secret about what him being able to see things in the game. But that aspect is entertaining, but like we're really there more so for the game because it's a game that he's played already before, but now he has an opportunity to start over and be just a little bit better than his former self and everybody else because he can see certain aspects inside the game. Basically, it's like little mini cheats or whatnot inside the game that he can actually see, and that allows him to reap the benefits of the game officially and reap the benefits of it in real life because he starts making a lot more money. Like I said, 42 chapters, and this is a new genre that's really popping off as well, with the whole video game aspect. Next is Omniscient. I hope I say this right. Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. Now, I found this one while looking for, like Return to World or whatever type manga manhwa. Well, this one is a webtoon. Okay, I was looking for that kind of genre, and this one actually popped up. 113 chapters, but it is a fantastic story, man. It's the whole premise about a book. Let me see the description. Okay, they don't have much of a description, but either way, like the whole premise is about a book that our main character read. He read this book, he finished the entire book, and he's probably more than likely the only person that finished the entire book. And he was upset that like the way that the book was going throughout the entire series, and he didn't like the ending and everything. But all of a sudden, this book became reality. And with his knowledge of reading the entire book, he's miles ahead of everybody else while playing this game. But like the stakes are very high, man. Death is heavily involved with this series, and if you don't step right, you will die, man. The action is there. It's got the whole fantasy genre going to it, and there's a lot of action, man. There's some adventure aspect because they're searching for things and stuff like that as well. But the action is the action and the plot itself is really captivating in this story because like there's so many moving pieces and parts, and with our MC knowing how everything kind of plays out with the story, and it's kind of like the whole infinite level Murim story as well. Like him knowing all of this stuff and then changing certain aspects of the game, of the book, it kind of is putting it in a different perspective and a different trail than what he's actually been following along with the book. But him being able to finish the entire book and have that foreknowledge throughout this entire series comes in handy so much, man. But another great series, 113 chapters. What's next? Mercenary Enrollment. Now, I love Mercenary Enrollment. I love a good fighting series as well. I mean, I don't know what it is, but like with the Murim and the video games, and you guys know I love Isekai, but I've been loving some good action fighting series as well, man. Like this is another great one that I found by accident. Mercenary Enrollment. Yu Ijin was the sole survivor of a plane crash when he was little. After becoming a mercenary to survive for 10 years, he returns to his family hometown. Not a lot for the description, but our MC survived a plane crash. He's been a mercenary for 10 years, and he returned home only to have to deal with some extracurricular stuff that's going on within the city that he returned home to. And oh my gosh, son, people try to bully him and mess with him and everything like that, and they just don't know who they messing with because this man is a mercenary and he's survived for 10 years out there mercenarying people wherever, so he do damage in this series, man. I'm just being real. The people that think they could try to stop him, they just don't know. They picked the wrong person to mess with. I don't want to give away too much because this is one of those series that it's a nice story as well, so you can definitely check it out and be grasped into it. He didn't kind of like regress or anything like that. It just starts the story with him, so he's not like coming back to life or anything like that. It's just a straight up story. There's 92 chapters. Very entertaining. I guarantee you, if you read the first chapter, you'll be like, well, I gotta read another, just one more. You'll kind of get addicted to it, but then you'll be like, okay, I gotta stop, it's late. The next one is dude, okay, Fff Class Trashero, or Trashero, however you want to say it. It's just the way that it puts it. Oh my god, it says this one was a webtoon as well, dude. Okay, I'm gonna read the description and then I'll just break it down a little bit. There's 123 chapters. Protagonist Ken Hanso killed the Demon King after 10 years of being summoned in the fantasy world. Now it's time to be sent back to Earth. What's this? The fantasy world's gods appear along with his report card because he removed all the obstacles that prevented him from killing the Demon King. His personality score came out as an F. The regression that follows is that he has to return to the start and begin again. Can Kang Hong-soo end this endless returns? Now, with this, the story is fantastic, man. Dude is like on an endless loop trying to get the perfect grade while dealing with all of this foolery, and it's such a great character. But dude is an edgelord. I'm gonna be 100% like, he probably didn't start out that way, because when you see it from the very beginning and you read it and you're like, okay, well, he seemed like a legitimate person. He's a little upset, but I get it. But after that first regression, man, dude is an edgelord to his core, and you read every chapter waiting to see who he demolishes. That's how good this series is. You don't even care about the main story I mean, you care a little bit. I mean, you want to see what happens in the end and everything, but that's not your main focus. Your main focus is just to see who he demolishes on his retrials, trying to get the perfect grade. Fantastic. I don't want to spoil too much, because it's one of those series, yet again, that you need to read to really be able to fully enjoy. It's a nice series, though. You're going to be laughing the entire time while reading this series. I guarantee you. That's certified right there. Next, we have Hoarding In Hell. Hoarding In Hell is actually, it's only 36 chapters, but it's one of those series that it surprised me, man. This one surprised me. Description: Kang Humo. Anyway, I don't. We'll say Kang. Kang is a dirt poor man whose dreams of becoming a hunter were torn apart. But one day, while he was dreaming of getting rich quick, something appeared in front of him. Difficulty: Hell. You are entering the star of apocalypse. What? He'll now be monopolizing items and skills in a future Earth overrun with monsters. Very simplistic. Dude wanted to get stronger, get a little rich on the side. So all of a sudden, a big, title description thing pops up, puts him in this star, the apocalypse world or whatever. And it's a future Earth where the monsters kind of have ran over everything. They have like these dungeons and stuff like that and everything too. And the monsters have taken over Earth. And with this, we see that our character is like on the hardest level of difficulty, and he's trying to monopolize all of these crystals and everything like this, but he's constantly dying because it's on the hardest difficulty possible. But in the end, he ends up training himself to be better, and then the story kind of starts a little bit, and we see him monopolizing all of the benefits of this Star of Apocalypse. Great series so far. I know I've said that about all these, but I wouldn't bring these series to you guys if I didn't quite enjoy them myself. So I'm mentioning them to you guys because they are great series. I highly recommend these series. I would mention series to you guys that's not good. These are great series if you like this kind of stuff. So that's why I mentioned it. And then I have other kinds as well if people aren't all into the action, adventure, fantasy type genre. I really don't want to talk about it too much. I mean, it's 36 chapters. You're not missing that much, so you can read that like that. Next is Adventures of an Undead Who Became a Paladin. Now, this one is a nice, fun-loving, action-happy adventure comedy until it's not. Like, certain aspects, you get a little worried. But it's not, like, dark or anything like that. It stays pretty up-tempo most of the time. There's 87 chapters. Humility, integrity, compassion, valor, justice, sacrifice, honor, faith. He's a lich, or a lick, however you want to say it. However, he's knightly. He is a lick, but lick. I don't know the correct term. I'm gonna say a lich. Anyway, but he keeps his faith in the light. Fearless in the face of the enemy, loyal and upright, he fights to the death. Why, you may ask? Because protecting the weak is not against the law of the world. This is the story of a cat with a bad mouth and a lick, or a lich, how you want to say it, who gave his body and soul to the service of the light. 87 chapters, and the description sums it up perfectly. He's a lich that wants to be a knight, and he ends up becoming a knight throughout the series as the series progresses. But I gotta say, man, this one was different, man. This one was so different from what I normally read, but because what you're thinking with a lick or a skeleton lord or whatever like that, you'd expect something, well, it's gonna be kind of dark, but that's not the case, man. This was so fun, so upbeat, so energetic. Now it had some moments to where it was sad, but it wasn't just like super dark or anything like that. But it's such a great series if you're used to all of the edgelord stuff, or the super OP character, or the MC gets isekai into this world, or you have this one particular MC and he's crazy or he's super strong or something like that. This is different. This tells the story of a lick that wants to be a knight, and trying his hardest to prove that he's worthy to be a light, a knight, and he has to go through some trials and tribulations because, you know, he can never have anyone find out that he's a lick. At the same time, we get to see such great things, man, with angels, demons, vampires, humans. There's so much going on with this series, and you'd think it'd be dark, but it's a very light-hearted series in general. Like, there's a couple moments where it's not broken or anything like that, but it's just like you it's kind of like a realism, you know. It's like, oh well, that's sad, man, you know. So but overall, it's such a wonderful series, and I highly recommend it, just like with all the others. Next we have this is great. Return of the Manhwa Sect. Now, Chung Myung, the 13th disciple of the Manhwa Sect, one of the 3 great swordsmen, Plum Blossom Sword Saint, defeated Chun Ma, who has brought destruction and disarray into the world. After the battle, he breathes his last breath on top of the headquarter mountain of the Heavenly Demon Sect. He is reborn 100 years in the body of a child. What? The Manhwa Sect has fallen? What kind of nonsense is that? Dude, that speaks volumes. There's only 71 chapters because the MC, yet again, is an edgelord. Now, he's not running around and killing people, but he is beating people up. He's mollywopping people, and this is what I like from my MCs, man. Yeah, I love my happy-go-lucky MCs. I love the ones that bring something nice to the table, but sometimes it's nice just to sit back, chill, relax, read something where the people just don't care, man. Like, we don't have to care all the time, man. Let's just be real, be your true self, and that's what Chung Myung is in this entire, I was gonna say anime, and in this entire series, man. Is action, adventure, martial arts, and I'm telling you, the action go hard, man. The action goes so hard in this series, and if you have read any of these, please let me know so we can talk about them, because I love these series with a passion. Next, we have the Return of the Crazy Demon. Yet again, another edgelord where dude is just, now see, he's running around murdering people. I'm just being 100%. He's dropping bodies. Like, he's dropping bodies. You know, there's blood. He's chopping off heads. He's slashing people left and right. He's giving them diarrhea. You know, so like, he's doing some things, man. Yi Zaha, or however you want to say it, the Crazy Demon, crazy for martial arts. While he was running away after stealing the heavenly pearl of the demon cult leader, he fell off a cliff. After thinking that everything was over, he opened his eyes to see that he had returned back to when he was a waiter, and he is being beat up for something that he didn't do. The crazy demon who returned to the beginning of his days as a waiter, will he go crazy again, or will he drive his enemies crazy? This man is edgelord king, man. Like, not to take away from some of the others that I enjoy, but this man just doesn't care, man. Like, he makes these people his playthings. And now, sure, he has an overall, you know, consensus of what he's doing because he's trying to set up something and establish something, but he just doesn't care, man. There's 52 chapters, and I guarantee you'll be on the edge of your seat in every one of these chapters because it's just that entertaining. I don't want to go into it too much because these last couple, man, are something that you just really have to watch and enjoy. Why I keep saying watch? This is not anime. Next we have no. Okay, I think that was on hiatus. I'll mention that when it comes back. Okay, so we're gonna skip that one. Next we have Worn and Torn Newbie. Now this is another one with the video game aspect. 15 years remain till termination of the service. The ending is known only to me. I'm a veteran. Well, that is short, man. There's 99 chapters, but this is another video game manhwa about the character kind of starting over from the beginning of the game. Like he went back in the world, like the world kind of went back a little bit, and he started playing this game from the very beginning, but he played the entire 15 years. So it's kind of like Omniscient reader, you know what I'm saying? He knows. He played all the way to the end, so he knows where's everything, the hidden stuff. He knows where to go. He knows where to find all the secret treasures, the particular weapons, and all the how to get this particular skill and all this stuff, because he's played the game for 15 years endlessly, and now that the whole world kind of like restarted over, and then he can play this game from the very beginning, he's becoming dominant in this game. And he's running around naked playing the game. Like, I'm just being real. It's very entertaining. It is funny, but it also has a lot of action. In the art style is very nice, very vivid. It's especially when it comes to like the higher action parts of the series. I really can't talk about it without spoiling anything, man. To be fair, it's pretty much true with all of these, man. Like, if I could talk about them, I end up spoiling something. Next we have the story of a low-ranked soldier becoming a monarch. I'll read the synopsis. When I was 15, I lost my right hand on the battlefield. When I was 24, I mastered the skills that were necessary for my survival. But I was always told the same things over and over. Just quit. I'll grade even faster if I try to teach you. I'll grade even faster if I try to teach you sojutsu. But if you weren't disabled, you could have learned anything you wanted with nothing holding you back. Hey, let's just collect herbs. Why are you so obsessed with swordsman? Is they breaking down this story? They're not giving me. Okay. Anyway, because that's crazy. There's 83 chapters, but our character, or our MC, is, he's handicapped. He's a little bit disabled, and he's like 24, and I think he got like 30 right there at the end, and he was like 39 when he kind of like reset everything. And he had this particular item, and it kind of reset him back to when I think he was like 15. It reset him back to he was like 15 and training. So now he has an opportunity to become someone so much better than his previous self, because he went back to a time where he didn't lose his hand, and he kind of remembers everything that he had in his past life. And this allows him to train and master all the stuff that he had already trained. And it tells the story of him getting to a position in, like, this kingdom, because he knows how everything's gonna fall out with the story. But yet again, it's like the others, him changing so much stuff, things start to change along the way as well. But I'm not saying that, I'm just saying this is a great series, and I wish they would have gave me more in the synopsis, man. I mean, because I can talk about it, but I'll end up spoiling things yet again, man. There's how many? Okay, we got two more. Okay, next is To Not Die. Now this one is a fighting manga, man. Well, not manga. Why do I keep saying manga? Anyway, a fighting manhwa, dude. This one is great too, as well. It's fighting. There's no superpowers. There's nothing. This is like physical and hands-on, kicking, punching, biting, martial arts. That's what this is, man. I'm Dajan, a high school student who's getting bullied at school every day. He came across an interview on TV when he was in the verge of giving up on his life. It was a murderer who killed his classmates that bullied him. Dajun becomes inspired by what he saw and decides to take revenge as well. His revenge was successful. However, his life steered into an undesired direction. Oh, my bad. I read it. It's M. Dajun, leaving school, ends up joining a strange runaway fam. The young runaway, M. Dajun, no longer suffers from the bullies at his school. Instead, he now must survive against even more vicious street thugs. Dude, it is very good. It's very entertaining. It is kind of like Weak Hero or whatever, I think that I was reading. And it's physical. It's physical violence, and like you can see the blood, like it goes in, man. There's 62 I can't even talk. There's 62 chapters, and it's very entertaining, and it's very action oriented, and you'll definitely fall in love with the characters, because I think there's maybe like 5 or 6 of them that you get to enjoy throughout the series that's a part of this little family. The next one is what is this? The Return of the Disaster Class Hero. Okay, I'll read the description. The dead cannot speak. It means the living can create any story they want. Inheritance, honor, and wealth can be taken away by lies. However, what happens when a person who is presumed to be dead returns alive? Now, the story, that is the overall story of the Return of the Disaster Class Hero. Now, our MC is, like he's friends with these people, and they're protecting the world or whatever, because I want to say it's got something to do with like the 12 Zodiac. and like he's like the 13th constellation zodiac sign thing or whatever, and somehow on their last adventure, our MC ends up being attacked and left for dead. Now he assumed the whole group is after him. Now he doesn't really know, and they probably assume he died because, you know, reading the story like, oh well, we miss him so much, but he ended up surviving the entire time, and it's been a cool minute that he was supposed to have been dead and gone, and all of a sudden he returns, and dude, he's an edgelord as well, man. But he's not, you know, yet again, he's not killing his friends or anything. But he is giving them all kinds of torment and punishment and mollywhopping them left and right. I'm gonna just be real, dude, and it's satisfying, man. Like I said, you don't have to have a nice MC all the time. Sometimes it's just nice for people to be real, man. That's all we require. Sometimes let's just be real and honest, and that's what our MC is. You know, he want to find out who betrayed him, and to go about it to get it done, he'll hurt all of his former friends to do so if he need to. So it's very good if you enjoy that kind of thing. Last but not least, we have Tale of a Scribe Who Retires to the Countryside. I love this one, man. I thoroughly enjoy this one. Not to knock all the others, but I thoroughly enjoy this one because it's something that I didn't expect. And I found this one by accident while reading something else. This one popped up and I was like, okay, well, let me check it out. This, you know, the description sounded nice, so I checked it out. A scholar who failed the national exams is picked up by a martial arts master and given the task to record his life into a book. Through their journey, Sonbin meets many great people and soon finds himself following the same path as the master, as the martial arts king. Now, that really didn't give you too much, but you learned that our MC is a scholar and he's not a fighter. But that very, I don't want to say, it changes. I'll put it like that. It changes as we read the story, because following someone and, you know, writing down everything that they done, you know, into a book, he found himself eventually mimicking his moves, following it the way that he does. He even wrote down like the movements and everything, and that allowed him to copy the movements and understand them as well. So that's how our scribe becomes someone that follows the same path as the martial arts master. I'm mixing up the words and stuff, but it's a great series, and there's a lot of love interest in there, man. Like there's so many. Now we don't really know who he'd pick, but there's so many to choose from that he could possibly fall in love with, and it's a great series to read. Now there's a little tragedy in there as well, but you know, it's not one of those where you're just gonna just break down and be all upset, but you can still enjoy the series and have a good time and feel something while reading this series. And that's it, man. That's all of them. I lost count. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I did not know it was going to be 16. I thought it was very, very short. It looked very short when I pulled it up. But overall, they're a great series. I highly recommend them. If you have read any of these, comment down below and let me know. I would love to talk with you about them and see what was your favorite moment, some of the favorite characters you enjoy some of these series. And if you're picking some of these up because of my recommendation, also comment down below and let me know, because I would like to know how you guys felt about these chapters and about these manga and manhwa and manhwa series as a whole. And if you have something that you think I should check out and read, comment that below as well. This is what incredible. Don't forget to smash the like button so you can't smash anymore. Comment down below and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them and subscribe, but only if you really want to. Remember that anime matters, anime is greatness, and anime is life. Peace out.
I cannot complain because today I'm doing my